Okay, so chapter one, the truth about affiliate marketing and digital marketing. Basically, this chapter talks about distinguishing reality from imagination. So the idea is that affiliate marketing, like a lot of stuff, I don't know how many lawyers you know, how many CPAs you know, the industry is flooded, and every day there are more people that are looking at this as the biggest opportunity. There are a lot of videos that promote, you know, how to get free money and passive income, and it's so easy. You know, lots of reels on Instagram, lots of videos on TikTok talk about how it's the easiest time to make $10,000 a month and blah blah blah, and people with a dream basically eat it up. I'm not saying there is no, it's completely false. I do believe it's probably the easiest time in history to make money, and probably a lot of money. I think one concept hasn't changed. People are looking for make money from home niche. People are looking for passive income. People dream about lots of stuff that money comes with, you know, girls, money, clubs, yachts, planes, traveling the world, buying cars, stuff like that. And people, you know, for every time there is a demand, there is also a supply. Someone is gonna tell, you know, someone a different kind of story, a different kind of like approach, and they're gonna sell them on the wrong investment and stuff like that. So basically, that's what happens with affiliate marketing and marketing nowadays. And I'm not saying it's not something that you should try. I'm not saying that this is something that you should, that you're never gonna make money from. There is a lot of money to be made as an affiliate marketer, as an agency, as a brand. Even at probably in drop shipping, even though I'm not doing that. The only thing is that this is true for basically every work out there. If you're very successful at what you're doing, if you put the effort, if you put the right kind of education, and if you choose the right industry, the right niche, the right geographic location, and you build a good reputation, you're gonna make money out of anything. So in that sense, yes, marketing in general has lots of money because sales make a lot of money. Even as a person who works for a company, you're probably going to get a lot more money doing sales if you compare your salary to customer service. And what I'm trying to say is that in history, there are only two types of passive incomes, and this is something that you have to know, whether you're inside the industry right now, whether you're looking at these videos and dreaming about, you know, making it. The only two kinds of passive incomes are real estate and the stock market. And even these types of investments, I would and many others would say that they are not passive. For example, if you buy an apartment, you rent it to someone, he doesn't pay you, he disappears, something breaks in the apartment, you have to fix it. So it's not really passive, but it's as close to passive income as you can. You know, if you invest in a fund, you're probably gonna be active in some sort of way, at the very least looking at the quarterly results, wanting to see if your money is there, if you're making money, if you made the right choice. So outside of these two niches, you know, it's not passive income. You have to put a lot of work, whether you're going into the deal making space and negotiation and you have to invest time there, whether you're gonna buy media, whether you're going to recruit affiliates, you're gonna have to constantly learn, and there is a lot to learn. I still am a major believer in moving from the 9 to 5 into something that you create, if you really have that motivation inside of you, and if you don't, then you need to connect with someone who does and can complete you basically. So that's something that I really highly recommend. And in the book I talk about how the industry really works kind of like Vegas. So I remember flying to Vegas, I think it was the first or second time, yeah, it was the first time I traveled there, And I remember on the way there was like noise and young people, and everyone was talking, and everyone was troubled by myself. So I really, I really like looking at people. So I really examined what's going on. The vibe in the plane was everyone was excited because most of the people inside the plane were probably coming in for a vacation, and there was this kind of like vibe and energy and stuff like that. And when I came back, I remember the plane was in complete silence, and it wasn't about the hour in the day. It wasn't about this was in the morning, this was in the evening. So I remember like asking the flight attendant, or I talked to the flight attendant, and she told me that it's so funny, it's always like that. Everyone's excited when they come to Vegas, but everyone's super quiet because they lost all of their money. So this is really similar to what's happening right now in the industry. Someone watches a YouTuber or a YouTube video, gets excited, sees Lamborghinis, people flying out of airplanes, nice girls, people are taking, buying bottle service tables at clubs, stuff like that. He dreams of it, he wants it, so he goes into affiliate marketing. He hears about drop shipping or something that doesn't really work now, or he doesn't know the whole picture about that, and they decide to run a campaign. Okay, so they don't really have anyone assisting them, they don't have the right knowledge, and they spend anywhere between a few $100 to a few $1,000, and they quit the industry because they are frustrated from losing that money, or they made like 50% ROI on their campaign, so they lost half of their money. And then a few things happens. The first one, they raise all of the bids for everyone, because the long tail, meaning the amount of people who are actually testing a few hundred, a few $1,000, is much bigger than all of the affiliates that are running, because this is a never-ending story. 100 come in, 1,000 come in, 500 go out. So it's always growing right now. The number of people who are coming in is bigger than the number of people who are leaving, and then you have more and more people that are basically spending money, and they don't really know how compliance work. They don't know the regulations within what they are trying to run. So they bring in really bad sales, really bad leads, whether it's for the litigation niche, whether it's for insurance, for finance and stuff like that. And so two things happened. One, the platforms, they toughen up their policy, so it's much more sensitive to other affiliates, and then we get lots of what we call false positives, which are ads that are being rejected basically when they are not supposed to be rejected, and that's even like a very good scenario. Usually it's going to be the account gets banned or something like that, when it shouldn't have gotten banned. So it raises the bids, it gets the platforms much more sensitive, and basically that applies to both sides. The ad platforms like Facebook, TikTok, Google and stuff like that, Snapchat, and the other side would be the affiliate networks or the advertisers that we are sending traffic to, and they are much more scared. So just imagine, like in the litigation space, I know that a few months ago there was a big conference, and one of the talks there was about how affiliates scam people basically. So everyone's really they got high anxiety regarding the traffic that they're buying and stuff like that, and that applies to everyone, so it's always the people who are looking for the short run type of mentality, just make the few thousand, the $10,000, and really scam advertisers that really affect all of us. So I mean, that's basically, if you go into affiliate marketing or any type of like digital marketing niche, from setting your own agency to working internally with a specific brand, into maybe owning your own brand, you really have to understand that this is a full-time job, just like any other job, and some would say it's more than a full-time job. Yes, it has a lot more flexibility, and the dream of being a digital nomad exists, but you really have to put a lot of work. It's not just like lying in bed in Mexico drinking from a coconut. That's very nice, you can achieve that, but it's highly likely not going to happen in the first year. So my suggestion would be, don't be like these people who are opening up a store or like a business, and the first thing they do is buy a luxury car to put outside, because they're in it not really in order to make money, they're in it to prove to other people that they've done it, you know. So you want to make sure that you are being authentic and real to yourself, and understanding that this needs a lot of patience, you know what I mean. So just know that, just like anything on inside Instagram and YouTube, the fast-paced life really doesn't match real life. You're not gonna be able to buy a Bentley or your dream house before really working hard and working on these goals, basically. And also, you know, the day-to-day work outside of learning and really testing, of working with clients, collecting money from affiliate networks or clients and stuff like that, is not easy, you know. So it's gonna take you some time. And also, a big thing that people miss out on or really don't talk about is the huge amount of stress. You know, I always say that inside the industry, if you got the experience of making a lot of money, like 5, 10, 20, $50,000 a day of revenue or profit or whatever, I always say it's kind of like drinking poison in a sense, where you get addicted. It's very a gamble mentality, some people call it. So it's like, I always say you're like in a lose-lose kind of like situation. So when you don't make money after that, you're sad because you're stressed about making money and stuff like that. And when you do make money, you're stressed about when it's gonna stop. I think it was Lorenzo from STM, the guy that founded Affiliate World, the conference, the biggest conference now. I think one of his first talks, he doesn't talk nowadays, and he talked in the first few conferences, and I think he said that there would always be, kind of like, I think he said a triangle. It's been many years since that, but he said that there is always going to be one side at least that, you know, puts you and the project to the test. Meaning you're gonna have issues with one side at least, either the affiliate network, the ad platform, or I think it was the client or the campaign. Oh, the campaign's results, the CPA. So you're always going to have to deal with something, and that stress is much bigger than I think any other business that I know, because outside of recruiting more clients and making sure that your existing clients are happy, if you're an agency, and maintaining a relationship with the network and stuff like that, you're also very dependent on stuff that's like force majeure, meaning upper kind of like higher power, you know. So the ad platform or the bidding, the auction in itself, is a very hard thing to control, and you don't have you know, a lot to do when it comes to that. The other part of this chapter talks about how your friends and family are gonna look at you, and I talk about how I don't even think my family knows or understands what I do, and I don't think that most of the women I dated would be able to describe what I do. You know, they would say he's in marketing, or he does the digital marketing, or he's an affiliate, because it's either very technical when I explain it, or it's just so dynamic that, you know, it changes. One day I'm into lead gen, a month after I'm into e-com and stuff like that. So, you know, it's very hard to explain to someone, and the biggest place where I experienced that is probably with banks, who really don't understand how a business could make, you know, $1,000 one month and 100,000 the other month. So again, it's either you oversimplify it or make it very complicated, so, you know, people don't really understand. So I think the few points that I talk about in the book are the reasons to why it's super hard to explain. So the first point would be the fact that people don't really believe in easy or fast money. They think it's a scam. They're probably gonna think that you're like scamming people or something like that. or that you're into the passive, income lifestyle and stuff like that. The second reason would be that people would be really suspicious of you as a person, because that has been branded so many times, as not being a legitimate business, as being, again, a scam. So they don't have the ability to really measure what happens inside your business. It's not like a restaurant. When you stand outside, you see if the restaurant is packed, it's full or not, and it's making money. So that's the second thing. The third thing is that the whole industry, digital marketing and affiliate marketing, is fairly new. People know people who know people who are in it to some extent, but it really began to evolve in the last 12 years, with Facebook ads expanding and something like that, and really exploded and expanded in the last 6 years. So it's just like the farthest thing from being a conservative business. And since it's very new and extremely dynamic, it's constantly changing, so most of the people in the industry are not doing just like one type of campaign. They're doing multiple verticals and niches, and you can't really explain to someone, because it sounds like you're doing a bunch of stuff. You are running leads for fitness, you're buying ads for finance, and you're doing some insurance stuff. So I mean, for me personally, I feel like it's okay that the people that surround me don't really understand what I do, or how to explain it, or really understand the ins and outs, the nitty gritty of what I do, as long as they give me the freedom in order to act and make strategic moves within my business. I also think that you need to understand and prepare yourself that criticism is such a major part of working inside this industry, because you're gonna deal with lots of money and stuff like that, so it's gonna come especially from the older conservative people. So don't be surprised when you receive really pessimistic responses, or even negative accusations and stuff like that. That has been something that I've experienced. I basically, everywhere I go, whether I drive my car into the garage, whether I just drive around, and I have like technical people come to my house, people talk to me about how I can help them or get to work and stuff like that. So that's something that's very nice at the beginning, but it's kind of like the equivalent of being a very beautiful woman, and you're always gonna have guys hitting on you constantly, so you can't really sit with just do nothing. So I mean, it's a nice place to be in, but it gets you're getting over it at some point.